Hey traders, John House speaking, and in this video I want to cover or give you a bit of review on Coca-Cola. Okay, this is a daily chart and we're looking at an open, high, low and close bar chart. Okay, and we can see we've got from April right through to sort of July of this year. Now the very first thing we can clearly see is this market going over sideways, right? If we have a good clear look at the first sort of couple of months, we can just sort of see sideways action through here and then a bit more sideways action going through here. So really overall a lot of sideways movement. So for the last sort of all of June, and we're sort of getting to we're getting to the end of July as I do this video. You can see that we're it's about 10 days away from ending July. You can see that we're overall sideways going through here. So we had the peaks, troughs, and the peaks and troughs are overall sideways, so no one's really in control here. Now this is what we see here looking at the smaller picture. We can see that if I draw a trend line from here to here, okay, we can see we have a little resistance here, a little resistance here, and the market broke up. Once the market broke up, it spent a lot of time going to the high side and kept on going up. Now going sideways, what does that mean? Well, that could just simply mean a rest before the run, right? Because we have, you could call, let's do this. And yeah, so we could call this here a major low. This is a major low. So this could be coming down and make another major low here, right? Another major low. Now that's what could be happening, but once again, we're not really seeing the bigger picture here, are we? So what we need to do is we need to, one, squeeze it over or flip it over to a weekly chart, so we really can get a good view of what the market's doing. And secondly, we need to just sort of squeeze it up a little bit so we can really see what's going on here. Okay, so there's a bigger picture here, going back from sort of 2000 and 2010. There's a decade worth of data here, and it gives us a really good picture. One, market's definitely an uptrend, but as we look at this data here, what does it tell us? Well, it tells us we don't really need to worry about anything sort of from 09, right? 09 backwards, we really don't have to worry about that because there's really no analysis we can just identify there. The only thing we can identify is that we had this level here being a major support level, okay? This is the resistance level here, came down, found support. You can see resistance through here, came down, found support, and now ran back up from there. So that's the only thing we can see. So the rest of 09, we don't really need to see. So let's open it right up. And you know what? We'll keep this little low here because I think we can identify a trend line there. So we'll just keep that low into play. And we'll just keep that low there, and we'll analyze this market here for a minute. Now, what we do see is we see Coca-Cola in a sideways movement here, then back up, then sideways again. Now, one thing I do say is I've noticed something here that, let's squeeze it up, let's move it in a bit closer, a bit more. Remember, this is the weekly chart here. Can you notice one thing here? Notice how we have.
Good day, OmniX. Can you hear me?
Okay, so what we're looking at here is this resistance point here, and what also we're seeing here is we're looking at this support level down here. Okay, so a bit of a sideways action. You can see the resistance point, sideways action, and then pop straight back up. But let's have a look at this in a bigger picture sort of perspective. If we go back far, or go back, we can see this is the actual high, right? So it had a big spike up here, came down, hit it once, hit it twice, and now we're at basically new highs, right? You can see this was the new high. Then it tried to break it. Now, this little section here is new highs. But what is happening now? What is actually happening through this section? It's not falling through, is it? Meaning, when a market breaks new highs, and it keeps falling through like this, you expect more upside. But when the market breaks up and starts to go sideways, that's a sign of exhaustion. To me, that's a sign of stop running, basically, of markets. Oh, sorry, of the big traders. So what this gets here is this overall sideways movement here. Okay, this overall sideways movement through here after breaking a new high. If indeed we do start breaking below 1150, then that's a very bearish sign for us. Very bearish sign for us to get back down to sort of just above 1050. So I reckon if we do break below 1150, we have a nice run down to 1050. Now, if that doesn't hold, let's squeeze that chart up and go back to the trend line we wanted to use before. This from this point low here, and I'm just going to draw the trend line up. So we can clearly see that low there. Okay, we have this low here and this low here. We could also be meeting here. So the market did run down towards that level there. You can see a whole bunch of support level there, okay? So, but another thing we need to keep in play was this low here and this low here. So if the market did start to come down, we need to keep an eye on this this trend line going through here. If this 1100 holds, then it might rally back up. But once again, this overall pattern through here after breaking new high is very bearish. And so if it does break down, I would expect it to get down here and possibly even down towards this trend line going down through here. So sort of where 1050 is. So that's my analysis here on Coca-Cola weekly. Okay, you can clearly see if we look at a daily chart by squeezing up on a daily chart. Okay, you can clearly see that, let's delete these trend lines, that the 200 moving average has been definitely sort of keeping things in a nice upward trend since July last year. Okay, the market's been in a big uptrend, came down, sort of a double bottom formation. Okay, bit of a trend line coming down through there. It broke sort of the neckline, and then that's when we came down, sort of tested it as a bit support level, and ran back up. And now we're at those highs. We're at those highs right now, looking forward. So once again, when we're looking at these markets here, weekly chart, okay, daily chart, this whole period through here, if we can see these highs going through here, and then this period through here, this here is actually a bearish sign. That going sideways and not pushing higher, because what happens when the market runs up and runs down, this high here, when it breaks, it's supposed to keep running, right? Run down, run back up. This high here, when it breaks, it should keep running. But when it runs up, runs down, and we have this high here and it pops above it and then runs straight back down, that there is a downward or more downward move to come. So, alright traders, that's it for me for this video. Coca-Cola, keep an eye on that one. That actually looks really bearish, and if you're looking to buy a put or anything, that actually looks like a pretty good trade for me. Once again, just make sure you trade in risk capital and make sure you got a trading plan in place before you take anyone's trade. But this here, if you're looking for a nice sort of trade, nice uptrend, but this but going in the overall uptrend, this period through here is telling me that if we do start the breakdown, we're likely to get a bit, just not just a breakdown, but probably break down to say 1100, maybe 1050 or so. So, sorry, $11 or 1050. So, all right, traders, that's it for me, and I'll speak to you later on.